Hello and welcome to the world of my books and stories. Now, in today's segment, the Storytime segment, the book I'm going to talk about is a book that's special, very, very special for me for a variety of reasons. Now, the first reason is that this was the first novel, full-length novel that I wrote for children. The second reason is that this book, I submitted it to a competition organized by the Children's Book Trust and it won a prize, and therefore it was later published by the Children's Book Trust. And the third, and I think the most important reason why this book is so special is because a lot of the things that I have written about in these books are things that are based on events that actually occurred in my own life. So in that sense, it's a very, very autobiographical book. So, introducing this very, very special book. It's called The House of 14 Cats. And yes, it does have lots of cats. It does have 14 cats. And it is a story of this old couple who live in their house, which is near the sea. And their son is married and lives elsewhere. And these two have these 14 cats that they take care of, and the entire day is spent cooking and taking care of the cats and talking about them and worrying about them and making sure they are healthy. And the reason that these people have these cats is that it started with one little kitten that was left at their gate, and then it grew to 14 cats. And their son is now visiting them because he hopes to persuade them to move, leave this house, sell it away to be made into a resort and move with them to his own house. And the couple is unwilling to do it. And then when the son is there, what happens is that there is something really strange happening, because all the cats begin to behave in a very strange manner. They are obviously ill at ease, and it is almost like they are trying to get away from there, to run away from there. And the couple realize that the cats are trying to warn them of some disaster which is coming. Now they have no idea what the disaster is, but they are so convinced that the cats are really trying to warn them that the old couple warn all the people around them. And fortunately, these people do listen to them, and they all get into cars and drive away. Okay, so of course there are other things, lots of other things happening. There are lots of cats who feature very much like characters. Okay, so I'll just read out a little bit so you get a sense of it. This is the end of the story. So this is when they've all got into the car and driven away. They drove for hours, always afraid, constantly looking over their shoulders, trying to see from which direction the danger was coming, because they had no idea what the danger was. Okay, every one of them watched the road, the sky, the earth for any sign of danger. It was a terrifying, nightmarish drive that no one would forget in a hurry. Finally, they stopped at dawn, and they decided that they would stretch their legs and discuss things, and they would stay here for a little while. So exhausted by the broken night, the sudden flight, and the fear of danger, most of them fell asleep wherever they could find a spot to stretch. So the long line of cars pulled close to the edge of the road, with groups of people lying huddled on the ground in the cars. They looked like a troop of nomads. Some of them stayed awake talking, and it was they who felt the dull tremors that shook the ground under their feet. They looked at each other amazed and glad. So this was the danger. But it was only later, when they went into the town to eat, that they got to know of the true horror of what they had escaped. A huge wave, mighty in its anger, had smashed into the shoreline. Homes had been destroyed, people washed away. It was then, staring at the cruel images on the TV, that they knew what the cats had led them away from. So basically this was, I based this on the actual event of the tsunami which struck the east coast of India on the night or the early morning of 26 December 2004. It was based on that. After many hours, the people returned they returned home to find their gates broken, homes destroyed, and the stink of the sea everywhere. For a time, they were minor celebrities who appeared on every TV channel. They were the survivors, the only village along that coast which did not have a single casualty. Not a single person was lost there. But then the TV channels found newer stories, and the village that had survived the tsunami was forgotten. But the people did not forget the cats who had led them to safety. And so when a new board was being put up for the village, people wanted it to be called Pune, which is the Tamil word for a cat. The people of Pune soon got busy rebuilding their homes, ever thankful that they were spared. Of course, there was no question of anyone ever building a resort at Pune now. Even Anish, that is the son of the old couple, seemed to realize this. He never spoke of it after that night. Instead, he stayed on to help his parents repair their house. He even went out with them to look for the cats. but no one ever found a single cat. Dadina and Dadana lived in the hope of finding all their cats. If cats can sense danger, then they can find their way home too. Meanwhile, they have found their first cat, a kitten, that none other than Anish brought them. So their son has always been against the cats that they have, but now Anish brought it because, after all, he said they had to start somewhere if they wanted to make it the house of 14 cats. Okay, so this is a book that I wrote based on my own experiences of growing up in a house where we had 14 cats. Of course, I also extended that idea to talk about how the cats actually saved the people when the tsunami struck. Of course, this part of it is entirely fictional, but yes, if you read it, you will get to know what it was like to be in a house, to live in a house with 14 cats and to take care of them. Now, this book has been published by Children's Book Trust. I'll leave a link for you in the description box so you can buy it. And I think it's very modestly priced at only rupees 70, considering the really nice illustrations, which, look at that cat yawning away, look at that. So there are these really nice color illustrations, and I love the fact that this is a hardback and the size is very, very nice to hold and read. So do write and let me know if you have read this book, if you have cats of your own and how many of them you have, and if you've read this book, what you thought of it. I'd love to hear from you. And do like and subscribe to my channel to stay updated on books and on tips and ideas and storytelling sessions. Okay, and so till the next time, keep reading, keep smiling. Bye bye, and thank you for watching.